What's up, Navigating Academia family? I hope you guys are having an awesome week so far. Do you guys ever have one of those days where you just wake up, you're just feeling good, you're just feeling super motivated, and you're ready to rock? Today is that day for me. So we're going to have an awesome day. You'll see several videos at least with me in this outfit because I'm just feeling good, dude. I'm just feeling good. So today I want to tell you guys a really crazy story that I was told about last night from one of you guys, actually. It was one of you who literally a year and a half ago got in touch with me on Skype, of all places. Yes, I'm still on Skype, if you can believe it. This is the age that we're dealing with here, right? But luckily these days, obviously, also on Zoom and WebEx and all that good stuff. And so what happened was that this individual was applying to grad school, wanted to, but their GPA was not great. On a US scale between 0 and 4.0, they were in like the mid twos, like 2.5, 2.6, which when it comes to getting into a psych PhD program, very unlikely. Like I would say probably 90 to 95% unlikely. Like that's how unlikely, because GPA as well as GRE scores are used for that screening process, what I call the triage process. Guys, it was nuts. So he had a great opportunity to be able to work with a professor, research professor, but they were several hours away. And he was very, very motivated, really wanted to be a researcher. And so my guidance to him, which I totally didn't expect him to take, I said, listen, mate, you need to get in the car every single day, and you need to drive 2 hours there, and you need to work your butt off, and I need you to work 2.5x as hard as everybody else, and then I need you to drive the 2 hours back every day, right? If this is really what you want, right, this is how you need to compensate for that poor GPA. And people have poor GPAs for all kinds of reasons. I help so many people conceptualize and, reviewing and helping them to polish their personal statements. If you guys need any help with that or interview prep for grad school, postdocs, you name it, go ahead and book an appointment, book a session with me down here via the website below. And I'll tell you guys that I was blown away that he actually did it. Right? He actually did it. And because of his insane hard work, his insane drive, and his insane dedication, he became a really integral part of that lab. And he became what you guys know on this channel I call an internal candidate. And so be sure to watch those other internal candidate videos on the channel as well. If you have something you really need to compensate for, especially really poor GPA, this is a great way to be able to go, even though it's going to take you quite some time. So as opposed to going straight out of undergrad to his doctorate, it ended up taking him several years where he was just literally grinding, right, and kind of proving himself in the lab to the point where he made himself such an asset that it would be like freaking impossible for anybody to, kind of take his place. And if they did, the lab would have to train them up so much that they don't want to lose this guy, right? And they knew he was applying to grad programs. And so because of that, the person who was serving as the kind of target supervisor, so the lab supervisor, sorry, not the lab supervisor, the head of the lab, like the PI for the lab, he was just like, listen, just apply for the doctoral program, right? And I'm going to do everything I can to be able to get you in. And so what happened was that he called me yesterday and he said he had the most insane interview of all time. Why do I say that, right? They had not read his CV, they had not read his transcripts, and they had not read his personal statement. None of it. Literally, they had not looked at any of his application materials. All it was these people who basically were so taken with the personal connections, right, that the target supervisor had basically gone so out of their way to say, this is the guy that I want, that they literally did no prep work to be able to have this interview with him. And he was shocked because he kept thinking to himself as the questions got asked, he's like, didn't they read the CV? Because they were asking very overly generic questions. And he just thought this was the oddest thing, right? And literally, they told him within 24 hours that he got into the program. That's wild, guys. That's like really crazy, right? And him and I had a celebratory virtual drink together. So if any of you guys get in, you want to kind of celebrate together, we can have a virtual, chin toast, as Daria would say. Then we can absolutely do that if the channel's kind of helped you to be able to get in, because I'm just so damn proud of you guys. And you guys have put in a huge amount of effort, and you've watched the videos, and you know what to do, and you've executed on it, especially if you've worked with me one-on-one. I mean, Daria can attest, I freak out, like I'm jumping around or whatever, doing my old Taekwondo moves from when I used to do Taekwondo as a kid, just because I'm so excited for you. Genuinely am. And I'll tell you, it just speaks to the power of everything we talk about on this channel. Becoming an internal candidate, working your butt off to be able to get as much research experience as possible, because this young man who got in, right, literally submitted 8 manuscripts for publication last year. Not a grad student, right, had finished his undergrad, right? So many labs, guys, and this happened to me as well, will tell you that you have no chance of getting publications, right? And they'll be like, no, undergrads don't publish, undergrads don't have opportunities. If you knock on enough doors, those doors will start to open, but it can be really frustrating, and I do recognize that. But this guy had just busted his butt, so I am so proud of him. I mean, really, truly amazing. So just remember the power of personal connections and publications. This is what I'm always telling you guys on this channel. They didn't even read his personal statement or his transcripts or his CV. They just saw his GPA or whatever, and they did ask him some questions about that. And, he knew how to answer, so he did a great job. And he got in. And if you guys are worried about, especially during interview season, if you guys are worried about how to answer specific questions, or maybe there's something that you think is a little bit odd or a little bit weak about your transcripts or your CV or whatever it is, and you want to learn how to be able to answer those questions that you're really terrified by, then again, we can literally just do a customized to your target program interview where I can basically ask you those questions and I can give you feedback on how best to answer them. Again, just go ahead and book an appointment down below and we can rock and roll. All right, guys, that's my crazy story for today. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.